This video is called All About Me Step 2. Now in this video we are going to be taking Sharpie and sharpening everything on our design. There are two Sharpies that you should have. There's the thicker, which is actually called the fine point, but we just call it the thick one. And then there's the ultra fine, which is the skinny one. So this one's for most of the drawing and this one's for the tiny drawings. But before we even start putting Sharpie on the paper or in your sketchbook, you want to go and grab a piece of free draw paper or any extra paper laying around, and you want to put it up underneath your drawing, because if you do not, then the Sharpie is going to bleed through to the table, or if you're in your sketchbook, it's going to bleed through to the next page, and we don't want that to happen. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I am not going to film me sharpening everything, but I am going to show you what you need to do. So the big Sharpie is for the bigger items. So like for instance, the word all and the word about. This can all be done with the large Sharpie. Everything pretty much on here can be done with the big Sharpie. But there's going to be tiny little things. For instance, the parents here or your family picture. So in that situation, we want to pull out the ultra thin Sharpie. See how skinny it is? And then go in and draw those items with the ultra thin. We like to call that the skinny Sharpie. So this is the skinny Sharpie, and that's the thicker or bigger Sharpie. The little lines inside the heart, those are things that you're going to want to go in with the very skinny Sharpie to go around. And even these little bitty stars, those you'll probably want to use the real skinny one. So remember, any teeny tiny things that look like they're hard to draw with, you're going to use the very skinny Sharpie, and everything else you're going to use the bigger Sharpie. So let's go ahead, you can pause the video, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to trace everything with Sharpie. Okay, now we are back and we have Sharpied everything on our design here, but you can probably see a bunch of pencil marks. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to grab a big eraser. Now you could use your pencil eraser, but in this class we're going to be doing a lot of erasing. So grab a big eraser and we're going to erase as much of the pencil off as we can. But I did want to show you before we do that, look at all the Sharpie that bled through. So we don't want that to get on our desk or in our sketchbook. So whenever you need to, you grab, and we're using Sharpie, make sure to grab that extra piece of paper. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to work my way down. This way we make sure that we go over everything. So I'm going to erase over every section and just slowly work my way down. Now you should be going right along with me in erasing the pencil. And if you go over every single design that you put on here, then, and just take your time with it, then you can make sure that you've gotten all the pencil off. A lot of times students will just do this and just kind of, go across the whole page, and they end up missing a lot of the pencil. So I'm just working my way down And I'm even going over my little stars that I drew to make sure that there's no pencil lead underneath those. And notice how I'm holding the paper down. I'm holding the paper down so that I don't accidentally rip or tear or buckle it up, because sometimes when you're erasing, it'll pull the paper all up. You don't want to do that either. So I'm making sure to take my hand and hold my hand down while I'm erasing right next to the item that I'm erasing, and especially towards the edge of the paper. Okay, now I'm coming down. I'm almost finished. And I am working down each section at a time to make sure that I get everything. And I notice I missed the K here. Now sometimes you'll scrub and scrub and scrub with the eraser and part of the pencil will not come up. We call that residue. Residue is when the pencil has pressed deep into the paper of your sketchbook, and the lead, because you press so hard with your pencil, the lead gets stuck in there and it's in a deep groove, and so we can't, oop, I almost wrinkled my paper there. We can't, oop, I did it again. Do you see how that happens? So I want to make sure to hold my paper with my hand so I don't crinkle it up or tear the paper. All right, so we're going to get rid of the eraser shavings, and now we have a nice clean area. So when it's time for us to add color, we have a nice clean area to work with. And this is the end of step 2.